Wingo.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's the deal?
Okay, we wanted to make sure you're recording, right?
Yes,
Like you said.
I'm recording right now. I got it all set up, lights, everything. It looks nice. I hope. What's going on?
Everything is great. So the thing is, I know we were going to try to take our time, get this podcast out, but then we realized that we have to have an emergency meeting because it's urgent. It's time sensitive.
This is time sensitive information that's in the actual
Yeah.
interview, so we have no choice but to hurry it, or else the footage will be out of date.
Okay, so
But
that said, what are you doing right? Well, I know what you're doing right now.
well, yeah, I'm at my desk. But that kind of like behind
So
me.
don't be mad, but
So
we don't know how to do editing, and we need your help. Okay?
oh my.
Surprise!
Wingo!
It's your favorite people.
It's your people.
Okay.
Hi, Iris. You missed me, baby girl.
Upsy daisies.
Ready. I don't know. I'm never ready. Okay. So it's very okay. I have to calm down. So
Okay.
we're approaching February 17th, which is an important time in the stars.
It's a portal.
So I wanted to make sure that we got this interview that we got with Dr. Caroline Young, a creative writing professor at UGA, and also a very
Creative woman who is my friend, and she teaches creative writing also at a women's prison, which is beautiful. Right. Additionally, she's a really world-class astrologist, and if you're not into that kind of stuff, it's okay.
But
we're talking about it anyway.
But I don't want y'all to miss it, okay? I just want you to know you got to get ready. You got to listen to Dr. Young. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Wait.
Caroline, how are you doing today?
You know, I'm good. I'm coffeed up.
Yes.
I've done all my games.
Oh?
Y'all gave me time to do the crossword because you weren't ready.
That's right.
So,
we were not ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm glad that you're ready, and I'm glad that you're here.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
I had like an intrusive. I was like, how do you know you're ready?
How do you know
Well,
you're ready?
because I know that there's nothing to be ready for, so you're infinitely ready.
Ooh,
And
I
like
guess.
that. Right? You just keep moving.
Yeah, you can't keep
Yeah.
resetting it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't really feel what the end game is.
Me neither.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about sort of what's going on in the world today from an astrological perspective. Is this something you can speak to?
I can.
Okay.
And I hope you're not looking for like a short answer.
No, you just talk. I'm
Okay.
very interested in hearing what you have to say, and I know Laura is as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it can be really. It's been a tough 10 years.
Yep.
I think it was like for some reason, in order to explain what's happening right now, I have to go back to 2015, when a woman in the community asked me to go try to explain Donald Trump to a group of community members, and I had to explain that I wasn't going to talk about him because it really wasn't about him.
Right.
It was like, and I said, but I'm happy to go talk about what's happening, and she was like,
Right.
okay, so, no one likes the truth, but the truth is this breakage has been coming for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And what a big thing happened in 2020, which was the movement of, Pluto is wrapping up its time in Capricorn, and Saturn happened to be wrapping up its time in Capricorn. And so they had a convergence, and that peaked actually in January of 2020. And that is like this hinge point that I was trying to explain to people in 2015 that was coming about and Capricorn systems and administration, and we all have to live with those. That's what you do. You get orderly, and you and we're very institutionalized in our country.
Right.
Americans think they're free, but we're also living in the most institutionalized place on earth because we have that kind of money.
Right.
And so, but Pluto and Saturn have initiated a slow melting of corruption because Pluto's gift is to compost.
Really?
And so we've been going through a compost that we have been asking for.
I feel like
Yeah, and it's really rotting
like there's
out.
a little seed in there. Like somebody brought a seed, but oh my gosh,
gotta
I'm
do
at the bottom of the barrel. You gotta
Yeah.
turn it up. I'm sorry. No.
But anyway, it's a process though, and so I
Yeah.
think people are like 2020, but that was 6 years ago. And right now we have something of a different frequency going on, where now Saturn and Neptune are walking into Aries together, and those are two other really, really big. And so where Pluto is the person who he's a great composter,
Okay.
and the invitation is fear, because nothing gets composted without a death process. And so it teaches us to live in fear
You're right.
as a part of our lives. And one of the problems with institutionalization is usually trying to stave off fear. So anyway, that's all been happening. But the next step, so Neptune brings an awareness of fantasy and illusion. It's also spirituality. It is the fact that we're just nothing but a bunch of particles. This is why I never really worry too much about being ready.
Kind of me too.
We're all
Like,
just a bunch
I'm
of particles.
We're all
This is
apart.
why
We're
I never
totally-
worry too much about being ready. What a
We
great
can't.
quote.
We can't get off the rock. We can't get out of the spin of the universe.
No.
But we
so
are
we're-
off the rock. No, that's a myth in itself, because we are space dust.
Yeah, I guess that's
The rock is part
Yeah.
of it too.
That's
but
pretty awesome.
you know, and like I guess I always go to that like next level up. It's kind of the ADHD, because when I'm talking to other people, if I go into space dust, they're like, "No," and I'm like, "No." Like, okay, we're on reality, planet Earth. We're on it. They can't get off. We don't have any way to not
Right.
have threat. Like we're always under threat of
Right.
Well, we always have a job to
if
do.
we're here. You know,
It's
like,
not. We can also think of it that
Yeah.
way, right? Like if you think of the only thing the universe wants to do is grow. That we're part of the process, right? And so Pluto will ensure that we compost the stuff we don't need anymore. Neptune gives us our reach, right? We have our idealism comes from Neptune. It's beautiful, right? Like it's at the top of my chart. Everything I do, I have a very idealistic bent. But here it's
which
meeting.
is very brave too. You know, because like
It can also be very, very, float outy all the time.
Well,
Right?
maybe it's
out,
been,
y'all.
38 years, and I'm being a little honest, you know. But it's I think I'm dealing with the fear of the being we were talking about the fear of being seen joyful around others. So you're constantly
Dimming yourself to fit into the box versus just
Going to
being
the
able
next
to
step.
shine your light right now, kind of, and moving forward while people will try to cut you down. We were talking about that.
and
so-
for me, it's all the stuff I say instead, so
Right.
that they won't go into all this. But you have. It's really cool to have this kind of. If you had the star seed, you know, it's not all one way. There's so many
Right.
options, and
Yes.
You can see pathways, different choices, and different things like that.
institutions don't like that.
No.
Well, no, but I work in some of the most oppressive institutions that are possibly out there.
And for those who don't know, what
So-
type of institutions do you...
Which I'm kind of grateful for that we
well,
have these
I
places.
teach in a university.
Yes, you teach in a
That is one of them.
university.
That is a giant beast that is being re-examined and shaken around right now.
Right.
I work in a prison. And honestly, the thing I've been measuring for the last decade is the way the prison has been pretty consistent. It's society becoming more and more like the prison. And
Wow.
that's what I've been really feeling and I'm watching, and I bring university students into the prison and they feel lighter and they feel freer, and I'm this is so messed up.
Wow.
This is so messed up. But anyway, but Saturn, I do need to finish this though, because it's really
Please finish
important.
about Saturn,
I'm
and
gonna
then we're
come
going to
back.
talk about other stuff.
So yeah, Neptune is this is who I think I am. And Saturn is show me the work. of being who this person is you think you are.
Okay.
And so we're all getting a humbling reality check
like that part?
for
No.
who we think we are and who we behave like.
Oh, who we behave like.
So it's behavior meets fantasy, and it's like get your shit straight. And so we're all having
But
to
I
make those
can't
choices.
get my shit
But
straight.
like we're literally not ready. So how do we
The
get
more
our
I
shit
try-
straight?
You just there's no end game.
There's no way.
You just gotta be prepared.
You just make the bends. you need
Prepared
to
but not
make.
ready.
It's happening to and it's in Aries, and Aries is all about me. This is like
Does
that
it-
making space for the self, and what y'all were both feeling like you don't have space to make space. You should, but you just need to know
Right.
that whatever you're gonna shine as, you better come back with the money, because you gotta put your actions in alignment with your beliefs at this stage.
You're right.
The whole world is having this going on. It's not like
Wow.
as much as it might look, it's not an American phenomenon.
Wow.
No, but it's
We're certainly
looks
in the
extremely
spotlight,
American.
though, I think. Globally,
Well, Europe's in
people
the
are looking
spotlight
at us.
too. They're like
That's
also
true.
getting it. They're like, shit, we can't rely on them anymore.
You're right.
That's a whole
You're right.
new monster.
So,
And now, a word from our spokesdragon, Pancake.
okay, I want to shift gears. I think that's pretty amazing stuff, but you have so many facets that sparkle and shine about you. I would like to
That's a very
Tap
I just
another
will say
one.
I appreciate,
Very.
because one man's sparkle is another man's glare. So
so
I appreciate that we are like swimming in happy,
wisdom.
like,
The wisdom is flowing from
I'm
you.
sorry, I haven't had enough coffee.
No,
I'm drinking
okay.
out of a cup of coffee.
My coffee's over there. I already drank it, but I'm going to get more after this. So, okay, one thing I wanted to ask you about was teaching creative writing.
Yeah.
And teaching specifically women in a prison system.
Yeah.
What feelings does that experience bring up for you? What feelings do you get when you're experiencing going in and teaching there?
Oh, okay. Every Saturday of my life, I am reorganizing my body around this question.
Okay.
Because I spend every Friday from noon to 3 in a classroom of some of the most amazing human beings. And I'll be just going to start crying because I'm
It's
in
okay,
that
we
24-hour
Please,
period.
like,
We cry.
I was trying not to.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to back it up a little bit and then I'll get there, I promise. We're all just here to grow.
Right.
And we all have something that we have to overcome in ourselves, and we have something of greatest purpose. So we all have our gifts and we all have our baggage that we're trying to dance through in our life. And the crow in me learned all these crazy things, but I never really knew why I was on Earth. I kind of treated this place as a bus stop. And it's like, that's curious, but who the hell am I? And then when my mom died, actually, I really had to kind of get my shit together, because that's a really weird moment when your creator is gone.
Right.
So I got serious, and I kept pushing to try to understand the feeling of being properly pulped. Like all the stuff was being used properly. And I zigged and I zagged and I zigged. But I first had to become unsilenced because I had no voice. Didn't really think anybody gave a shit, and I don't know if I was waiting for someone to give me permission or not, but I just was kind of like, this place is so dangerous, and this place is just, like, these people are wild and crazy, and I'm just trying to survive.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I started finding my own voice. And so that pushed me into one institution, number one, the university setting,
The university.
which
yes.
is not inclined to, that's not actually their number one concern, which I was used to that already. But the process through the process of making books, like my biggest gift was that I now managed to wrestle the truth of my humanness into this collection that I'm like, I don't have to carry that around in my head anymore.
Because you put it in writing and you put
Because
it in
I
a
put
book.
it in a book. Because as we talk about at Whitworth all the time, when you have wisdom that you get from all kinds of crazy stuff that went on in your youth or in your life, our brain does two things. It tries everything it can to forget it, but it also tries everything that it can not to forget it. And so there's a wrestling match going on because you're like, don't forget that because you will be burned again, but don't remember that because you're just trying to get through the day.
Right.
And so that is what we do in the class, where we all basically build books together so that there's no risk of forgetting it because you know it's somewhere you can visit.
And I've
But
seen
it's like
some
out
of
of your
those
head.
books. The books are incredible. They're like journals that have
Now, is
writing.
this in college or is it the prison?
This is in the prison.
In the prison.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
and like, I mean,
The
anyways.
college was like just a bunch
What?
of playthings I stole.
I got close friends and closer, and that have been in that system. And like my parents, my dad's a criminal defense attorney, my mom's a court reporter. You were a forensic child investigator. I mean, interviewer. Sorry,
No, it's fine.
I just like the word investigator. 'cause it
I didn't
sounds
investigate. It's a different job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't in a police situation, but yeah.
But that, like,
Yeah.
going back to that, like,
Okay.
thing with, you know, these bad things happen. And one of the things that was so, like, there's been two confusing things in this journey for me. The first one is, like, I've been in therapy for years, like 30 years. Because when something bad happened, my parents said that's where she should go.
Nice. At least they did that.
Yes. The only problem was somehow I keep getting with like the same kind of therapist over and over again. So if I didn't fit into a specific category, they kind of push me in there and give me a problem I didn't have. Which I think that as I collected all these numerous traumas and was that child that will listen. That doesn't need to be yelled at, like to be encouraged.
Very compliant.
So,
Ooh. I think I might have said compliance 10 times to the UGA students.
Oh,
in the last
wow.
2 weeks.
good.
Yeah.
Compliant.
I'm like,
Such
stop being
Such
compliant.
a strong word. Do not comply. Right.
Yeah.
You're using it in the context of do not comply.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Obey who? I would, like,
Exactly.
talking about Andre the Giant, you know, obey.
Yeah.
But I'm actually saying it because they can't move if they're waiting for me to tell them what to write.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, and so instead we talk about
I
it.
remember doing that, and like in some ways, I just kind of quit doing that when like everything falls apart and you're doing what you don't want to be doing, but you're like, I had children.
You're-
Like, I'm not gonna not have a job
Yeah.
but certain parts of me couldn't change. Like I was like, I have to be creative. So I'll do community theater, but I can't do Hollywood anymore. I was like, it was too much for my nervous system. I always come here. In 2015, I came here for 6 weeks to Athens. Like, I always end up back in Athens because
It's your place. It's your home. It's the right place where you belong. You
Yeah.
belong here, Laura. It's good here.
it's just, there's a lot of, like, really cool women here, and there's a lot of good other places to point, because, like, I would say, like, my mom and I are totally different, and she's done such a loving, like, there's no, like, I'm like, Mom, don't be anyone else, just love yourself, like, I'm so glad that I did this with you, but, like, we're so different in perspectives, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And
Yeah.
so, like, we have to support each other and not change each other.
And
Yeah.
you're an actor, and your mom has stayed in the same place, and you've gone.
But she's a beautiful singer that was a court reporter. So I always
That's
like
pretty
thought it was really
amazing.
funny that like she's got this like beautiful like she would like go to Prince Avenue Baptist, not Prince Avenue Baptist, the one on that Dr. Broughton sings at.
Oh, the Dr. Broughton sings.
You know
that.
about Dr. Broughton?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
I sang at UGA, so I took like voice stuff sometimes with those people.
Oh no.
Like Dr. Tingler.
Why did we just figure that out? Anyways, that's crazy.
I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Very loving,
that's
like,
in a past
authority
life.
figure that was in that like Christian realm, you know, that was doing that, but it was still like so like he would say the last thing that the world needs is a famous Christian. You know, and so he chose to teach at UGA because it gave him more leverage.
Secular leverage.
It taught he was able
Secular
to affect it
leverage.
instead of like going to like Europe and singing, and I was like,
what are you thinking, man? But, like, Titus Burgess came from under him, too. Like,
Oh,
you know? And
yeah.
Titus is magic. Oh, my gosh. And so, anyway.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing too. I was
amazing.
going to ask you also, we were talking about how in a past life I was doing other stuff like forensics and things like that. In a past life, you were doing things with TV and broadcast.
Oh, yes. You're talking one of those past lives.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, yes, I'm
There's a lot of
crossing
past
over
lives.
from the different types of past lives. I'm
But
talking
still
about
in the-
those
you know.
on this plane.
Yes.
It was past life. I was wondering if you would tell us a little about your experience in TV and broadcast.
TV was my purgatory.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, it's really because there was something
How
on me.
dare you?
No, let me. Flesh Purgatory is an interesting place. Come on, y'all. Think
Flesh
about it,
Purgatory.
That's just everything.
Purgatory.
That's my new band name.
Flesh Purgatory.
That's
We
so-
are Flesh Purgatory. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Like,
ADHD
So
happens.
TV was purgatory.
I spent most of my
TV.
childhood, and this many people can relate to this. I called it the sabotage theory. That I was very compliant, and I was bright, and I was mute. And so people could tell me, oh, this is what you should do. This is going to be perfect for you. And so I had a tendency to get in all these cars, these metaphorical cars. And then I was good at jumping out of the car, going at 50 miles an hour at some point when I was like, oh, I'm going to disappoint you greatly now and just disappear.
Right.
So I did a lot of that. I did a lot of just trying to be the thing this person thought I would be good at and then just jumping out of the car. So one of my jumps out of the car was when I graduated out of college. Honestly, the thing I love the most about art, I was an art history major, but I liked working the buffer at the gallery to like wash the floors. I was really thought that I really liked painting walls. I liked buffing floors. I was like, this is so tangible and so earthy, and if you see you see what happens, and that wasn't going to make me any money. So I could type. And I found myself typing in a marketing department of 3 at TBS Superstation at the time. And just learning all about television by typing up the words that the executives were giving me to type.
Wow.
At any rate, there was a coup going on at the time because the VP of marketing was being fired upstairs, and I kept taking memos to some man in this on-air department, and he was never doing anything in there. Well, the day they fired the marketing assistant, the marketing VP, all of a sudden this guy was our new boss. And it was all of a sudden creative services. So this was a time when advertising and television, it was all changing very quickly. And so they were like, why is this temp in here typing all the time? We should fire her and make the administrative assistant do his job that he wasn't doing. And one woman went, well, actually,
Of course, that
why don't
makes
we just
sense.
give the job to Caroline because she's doing the work? And
No,
again,
that's not
this is me though. This is the Neptune in me. I was like, gross television. I can't live. God, this is just beneath me. But I was like, actually, this is less unethical than the art world. So then I kind of was like, okay. And so these people were making commercials in the department next to me, and it was like, wow, they're like making like video, music, word sandwiches. And somebody, again, because I was still really inert, was like, why don't you do one? And I remember, I think it's one of the kindest people. I think he could just tell how utterly sputtered out I was. Like, how did I wind up here? Very long story long. I started making commercials. And so I left TBS and went to like another agency. And I was working for clients in LA. And we were making their products.
And this is around like what time?
This was in the 90s,
Okay.
and Xena Warrior Princess was one of my.
Yes, that's what I was
I knew you were like. It's like
That's when PM Dawn was in LA. All my favorite people in
Xena. So yes,
People
so Xena.
understand for some reason all of a sudden when I say that. So anyway, I was writing the commercials for Xena, and my mom. This is when my mom got really sick unexpectedly, and my whole life just started literally blowing up. And my editor one day was like, do we know, like, Caroline, I feel like you're writing your life. Like, we could take Xena's name out and put your name in, and it'd be like, this is your life to a T.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, shit. And I started writing poems. And I didn't know they were poems, and I would smack anyone in the face that called it a poem. But I was all of a sudden everything was coming out of me without me controlling it. you know, there were some big planets pushing it all out of me. But anyway, so it took me to poetry, and then I had a blow up with my dad, and he's like, I think you should maybe. He knew I was unhappy, and he said, I will support you if you just want to go back to school. And so I was like, okay. And then I was going to go stay at my job part time, and the day I got accepted into an MFA program, they announced the sale of the network I was working at.
Oh, wow. So
was
that
like,
was
oh,
like very
goodbye.
serendipitous.
I know. I was so
And,
I just
well,
so
like my
that.
into LA was COVID because I was like, I'll go both places. I
Right.
can go back and forth and raise a family and have it all. And I'm about to have a nervous breakdown because like everything is so in demand of my like nervous system. There's so many predators out here. I feel like I'm like saving girl, like you know, it's just a very backward system where like. I was at the Elton John party, which I always love to go and behold Sir Elton. But, like, you know, he doesn't know every publicist over there. So it's raining, and I'm holding my best friend publicist's gown, and I'm getting on the carpet, and they're like, no, talent only! And I'm like, I am the talent. And it was like a wake-up moment for me, but I had a panic attack right after, and was like, don't cry on the red carpet right now because you're no nerves. I hate
It would have been so human if you had cried on the red carpet. It would have been really difficult for you to endure publicity for that, probably.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what a humanizing moment that you were feeling
Look,
and battling.
37-year-old Laura would love to share that moment, but like 28-year-old Laura was just so tired, like just trying to get it so right and not make her mom mad and still have her dream. And then it was still already unraveling. Like it wasn't going up, and everybody else on channels was going up, 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 and I could feel like you have to be happy for them. And you will not be. So it was like it's like starting stuff like that, like watching other people getting parts that I was like, I want that part, and be like, I still want that part, but they're doing a good job, you know. Like,
wow.
And so that stuff is so old school that like I don't even, like that was a big struggle, and like, but now it's just like. The other thing was like that thing you're saying is like pouring out and you're pouring out and it's coming in waves, like all that grief. It was like I hit like the big thing. It was like this is the thing that won't let us have anything, so it'll just keep being like, oh, you think that she has she's okay, she's fine. It's this thing over here. It's this category. It's eating disorder. No, this is the problem, you know. And I was like, until we deal with the problem. And we quit doing it like there was other people's way in this way because there is safety issues involved. But like, and Jen was so foundational, like around that, like it was near September 11th. We'd already had this like June change with our band with that. And so there was a big mix-up, and I was supposed to be singing backup, and for some reason the universe like put me back with my best friend, and I was like, you guys can do this again, but you cannot be drunk the entire time. And like trying not to drink, but we really don't like alcohol. Like he doesn't at all, and I like a glass. I really would drink like grape juice out of a fancy glass. I just like
It's fun.
I'm dramatic.
It's fun.
But
It's sometimes fun.
just the healing, the integration, but that first box was like, and I don't know if people understand that when you keep doing this, you don't let other people change, so you keep the cycle going because they don't even know how to get out, and so we did all the work, but we are really strong and they're not, and it's kind of not fair.
A lot of things are not so fair. It's true. A lot of things are not so fair.
But like I tell my daughter who's 4, I say, Clemmy, I know that this is really hard, but I know you can do it. And she's like, no, I can't. And then like 10 minutes later, when she does it, I just put it on. I'm like, see, it made you cry.
So
You didn't want to.
I'm shifting, but I would like to ask you about Athens. You've been in Athens for a long time.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite Athens stories?
Oh. Time and place.
Hmm.
This is hard.
That's a hard one?
Place is shit.
Or you can talk about what do you love in Athens? What are some places you love to go to in Athens?
Well, when I was young, I hated Athens.
Really?
With a vengeance. And, well, you have to understand it was the 80s, and half my high school migrated up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing everything in my life to get away from these people.
Where did you go to school?
and Tucker High School in
Okay.
Atlanta. So,
I went to Oconee.
yeah, so I went as far away. I went to Boston to go to college, and then when I come back, I wind up in this band wife position where we were always having to come to Athens. And I was always the driver, right? I was the girlfriend with the credit card in the car.
So you got to come back here, and you don't even want to come back here.
And this place never made me feel safe because none of those people never made me feel safe. And I also was highly suspicious of why everyone was in a good mood because I thought that was completely not real. Like, what the hell, y'all? The world is burning. Because, like, I knew we were going to be here, like, in the 90s. I was been waiting for it. I'm very depressing. Like, I sound like a real
You see
great
why we're happy
friend.
now.
But that's the crazy thing. So,
I love it
anyway,
here.
I really just was like, God, I hate. Like, I remember one night in a very, very drunken state because somehow we found our way to Buck Berry's house and they're all having their rock star moment, and I'm highly reactive and like, I've got to get out of here, and I'm 3 sheets to the, and just want to go to Atlanta where it's nice and safe and they can put me back in my bat box. So I wasn't in a happy state, and so but when I now come, because I came in 2009. And of all things, speaking about moving, it was a tornado hit my house, and it was like the moment I got accepted to UGA, a tree took out my house, and it was like goodbye.
How dare you?
So
That's
I
a pretty
can't
big
get
sign.
over like this quality. I was like, Atlanta was an allergy, and no wonder I was so unhappy all the time because honestly, I was too much energy for a human to handle.
Yeah.
And I was surrounded by depressed people. And that was a real revelation that I'm mature enough to be joyful and in Athens. And now I'm rolling around it and love it. And I had somebody say, oh, you have to be an adult to move out of Athens. And I said, oh, I was an adult enough to live in Athens. This is where you really do life.
I mean,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah,
This is where you do
That
life.
is what
Tiny
I love
life
about
is
it.
real life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is
So
real.
I think this has been.
is real life.
It is.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible time talking with you, Caroline. And I want to
Thank you for
thank
coming.
you for coming and spending the time with us. I know we got a little serious, but like you're just so special and you have so many important things to say. I wanted to be able to dig in a little with that.
I don't think you can be light if you can't get serious.
That's true. There's both. There's a polarity. You have to be able to have the light and the dark together.
Yeah.
So thank you for covering both
Sure.
with grace and ease. All right.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now a word from our spokesdragon.
Pancake.
Pancake.
It's over here.
Where's the pancakes?
Everyone take a nap.
Okay, are we cutting?
Yes, cut it.
Laura likes it cut so that she can edit easier, smaller sections.
So Wingo can do it.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't as urgent as I had originally thought.
Not as urgent.
Because we are just becoming at our own pace.
True.
But the astrology is a good way to, like, physicalize it. Or put it in your head to this is how I'm going to become the person for what I'm asking for. And that was very profound for me, even though I can't get my shit together. But that's okay.
Don't say that, Laura. You can get your shit together. It's just not all together all the time. And that's part of Not Ready Club.
That's very true. So thank you so much for joining us on episode 0
Yes, we had, of the
Not Ready Club.
yes.
0.
0.
We want to say a very special thanks to Mr. Blank at Joker TV.
Woo woo.
Um,
And Michael Bateson at Cloverhurst Media. Thank you so much. We love you.
And, special thanks to Dr. Caroline Young for taking time out of her day and having a cup of coffee with me. A glass of coffee with me, if you will.
Absolutely.
And that is our show. And now it's time for the dance party. What do we got?